Hey guys, and welcome on into another episode of Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Predictions. I'm your host, Terry Edelman at TE Picks over on X, ready to break down the Monday slate. 5 games to break down today. I'll be going over all 5 of them. But before we get to that, we have games to recap from the weekend. So we will, of course, start with that, and I'll try to remember what cashed and what didn't. Easy to remember this one. The over 6.5 here between Montreal and Toronto. Unfortunately lost. Low scoring game between these two teams, which is pretty rare, especially for Montreal recently. Morgan Geekie anytime goal, plus 135, a nice winner there. Morgan Geekie, along with Jason Robertson, has been 2 of the goal scorers that we bet at the beginning of not so much as Robertson at the beginning of the year, but we've been betting throughout a lot of the season. So Morgan Geekie continues to cash for us. Lucas Raymond anytime goal lost, unfortunately, plus 195. But if you bet the over in this game, I did mention on the show, there's never been a game between these two teams that has gone under 5.5, and this game went over. So you cash the over was a premium play for me on the site. This one was really frustrating. Minnesota had Jesper Wallstedt in net, who's been pretty much perfect recently. Happens to have a bad game, which sucked. This bet lost. Vancouver had not been scoring more than 3, and they had definitely not been scoring more than 3 against Minnesota. So everything pointed towards this play, but unfortunately the Wild had a stinker, lost this game, gave up 4 goals. So unfortunately that lost. Going to yesterday, Sharks team total over 2.5 plus 115. Wanted to make sure that Anderson was in net. Anderson was not in net, but it cashed anyways. So for people that pulled the trigger on it there, plus over 1.5 plus 115, the Sharks getting 4 wins or 4 goals. A rare night that Robertson didn't score. So Robertson anytime goal plus 110, unfortunately lost. Alexei Protas over 0.5 point, which I got for plus 108. Did not look very good. 1-0 in the final moments of the game. Looked like this was going to be a loser, but Columbus had the empty net. Protas shot at the empty net and scored. So got a nice winner there. The over streak between these two teams continues. Really heavy over history between these two teams. I didn't end up getting to the over, but of course I did mention it. Hope that you guys got to it. And then Beckett Seneca over 0.5 point was unfortunately minus 125. So I went with the assist to plus 140. He scored a goal and got an assist. Basically now at this point, I'll have to check tomorrow to see what the odds are for Seneca's point tomorrow. But because they were minus 200, I believe it was like minus 125 for a point. Tomorrow, I think they're a pick'em. So we might be able to get some value with Seneca point tomorrow. If not, it'll be assists. Because he does assist a lot more than he scores. Now, he's been starting to score recently as well, but he's still been assisting. So we'll look at his point or assist prop tomorrow, but that is happening tomorrow. But before we get to this game, and yes, new graphics, new background, I guess you could say. Let's go and see what people are thinking here. Good day, Terry. Hey, Grant. How's it going? Hope all is well. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Subaru. I appreciate it. Not falling for this, Rich. Not falling for it. Rich wants me to try to pronounce that because I do not speak Mexican. So he's just trying to. Rich is trying to get me, and he's not going to. He's not going to get me. No. Hey, Terry. Hey, Sweet Pickles. How's it going? Geeky Pure Gold. Yeah, he's been great this season for sure. Hi, Terry. It's a great day for hockey. Yeah, I agree. Sharks kaboom. Yep, they needed it was just a good spot for them. Now I didn't really expect Kochetkov, but didn't have much success. So over 5.5 in the Habs. Yes. Huge, heavy over history. And for the people that say the previous history stats don't matter, there's another example of why they really do matter, especially in the NHL. When it comes to baseball, what teams have done against each other in the past is very minimal in my handicapping. I would only look at it if there was maybe a 20-game streak or whatever, maybe between divisional opponents. But for hockey, it matters a lot more. And for football, it matters too. Jacksonville Jaguars, I cashed on their money line, 11 straight home wins against the Indianapolis Colts now. So it matters in football as well. Mexican, LOL. Yes. I put it on one bet so far. Adrian Kempe, Spanish. Forgive me. Put in one bet for Kempe anytime goal. Mexican question mark. Yeah, see, Rich got me anyways. He got me anyways. So there you go. On the spot. Yeah. Show's been rocking. Thanks, Lando. I appreciate it. And yes, everybody getting a laugh at my expense. It's okay. It's okay. But having said all that, we'll jump into today's show. Starting with the first game here, a lot of blue and white. Tampa Bay Lightning and the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Lightning, minus 130, road favorites. The Leafs, plus 110, home dogs. A total of 6.5 here in this one. How do these two teams do against each other? Toronto, 7-2 in the last 9 meetings. 7 of the last 8 going over 6.5. A lot of high-scoring games between these two teams. And the Leafs really had a lot of success scoring. Obviously, 7-2 in the last 9 meetings, but they score against this Lightning team. Toronto, team total over 3.5, has cashed in 7 of the last 8 meetings. So when these two teams face each other, the Leafs usually win in a very high-scoring game where they score 4 goals. That has been what has happened in the past. Jonas Johansson starting here for Tampa Bay. Andrei Vasilevsky is now on IR. So not really a whole lot known about what's going on with him, but he will not be playing for today or tomorrow for Tampa. And then Dennis Hildeby for the Leafs with Joseph Wall injured. Now Hildeby's been playing, and he's actually done okay. 1, 2, and 2, 2.51 goals against average, 927 save percentage for Dennis Hildeby. When I look at this game here, one play stood out to me, and that is Brandon Hagel, over 3.5 shots on goal, plus 125 here in this game. Hagel has at least 5 shots on goal in 4 of his last 5 games, and at least 4 shots on goal in 6 of his last 8. Been shooting the puck a lot. Toronto allows 31.4 shots on goal per game, which is tied for second last in the NHL. The Leafs give up a ton of shots. Hagel here facing his division rival. He is on a shots on goal streak right now. I'm not sure if Kucherov will be back, but even if he is, I still expect Brandon Hagel to shoot the puck a lot, so we'll take him. Over 3.5 shots on goal, plus 125 here in this one. Other guys with streaks here. Dun, dun, dun. When it comes to shots on goal, Morgan Rielly, over 1.5 shots on goal, minus 105. He's done that in 4 of his last 5 and 8 of his last 10 games. Shoots the puck a lot. Point props, nobody. Nobody is on any kind of point streak here in this one. Guys that were on point streaks had their point streaks ended in their last game. Nick Paul, Victor Hedman, both have points in 4 or 5. Both didn't get a point in their last game. Paul, plus 105. Hedman, minus 105 here in this game. Goals, Scott Lofton has scored in 3 games in a row for Toronto, plus 950 for Scott Lofton to score here. Could be some value with him if you think he can keep that going to a 4-game streak. There's value with him. But that's basically it here in this one. I kind of lean with the Leafs as a home dog here. They've obviously had a lot of success against Tampa in the past, and I think they're the right side here. We love you, Terry. Thank you, Rich. Thank you. Addison agrees. Thank you, guys. Leafs right. Isn't everyone hurt on Tampa? Yeah, Tampa's not on a good spot here. They're obviously injured, but didn't get to the Leafs ultimately. I'm on the under here. Sorry, but not sorry. Hey, I'm not on the over, so we can both cash. Heavy over history between the teams, but the Cooch is suiting up per Twitter. Okay. I still feel like I don't think Brandon Hagel is going to think, oh, Kucherov is back. I don't have to shoot anymore. I still think he's going to be shooting the puck a lot. So now having Kuch out would have helped a little bit more, but that's okay. Feels like a Jake Gensel to score type of game. I could see it. Depends obviously what line he's on. He'll go back to the second line, I believe, with Kucherov back. Grant's laughing. Hey, I wouldn't be on the under here, but good luck. Next game up, a lot of gold. Buffalo Sabres and the Calgary Flames. The Sabres, -110. The Flames, -110. Total of 6 here in this one. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, unconfirmed for Buffalo. Bear with me for a second. Justin Wolf confirmed for the Flames. Luukkonen, 4-4-1, 2.57 goals against average, 895 save percentage. Dustin Wolf, 8-12-2, 2.9 goals against average, 899 save percentage. Wolf is starting to play better. Obviously, he had an absolutely awful start to the season, but was an extremely good goaltender last year. So he's starting to heat up now. What's happened in previous games between these teams? Calgary, 4-1-1 in the last 6 meetings. 4 of the last 6 going over 6.5. When I look at this game here, pass. I have no interest in betting a Sabres and Flames game. I know it's early, but neither of these teams are making the playoffs. I know Sabres fans might have some hope, but with how the Atlantic Division is. But no, Sabres are not making the playoffs. The Flames, again, neither are. So neither of these teams, I don't want to bet the side or back either of these teams. Now, when it comes to player props, there are a couple spots you consider here. Josh Norris, over half a point, 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5, -120. Jason Zucker, 3 games in a row with a point, -110. Neither of these players have had much success against Calgary recently. Now, obviously, they only play twice per year, but still not a whole lot of success. Zucker has scored in 3 games in a row, +280, and Connor Zary for the Flames, he scored in back-to-back games, +430. Power play points, Jason Zucker and Josh Norris both have a power play point in 3 games in a row. Zucker, +275, Norris, +250. And as I look at that, we are going to go and take a quick look at what the Flames penalty kill looks like. Let's go and take a look. Wow, the Sabres with the best penalty kill in the NHL. That's a little bit surprising. Flames number 5. So Flames have the 5th best penalty kill in the NHL. So I was hoping to see them in the bottom 5, and maybe I was going to jump on Norris or Zucker power play point, but ultimately not going to, with the Flames having the 5th best penalty kill. Assists, Josh Norris, 3 games in a row, +172. If I was getting to anything here, it would be Josh Norris point. But ultimately going to pass on this game. Let's see what people are thinking. Nobody likes unders. It's okay. And that's totally true. That's total. But there are some handicappers out there that specifically go for the unders, and you can do that. For me, I've tried team total unders twice this year and lost both. So unders, yeah, not much for me. You like Calgary? I could see it. They've had success against the Sabres. This is an over for me and sprinkles on some Sabres props. I could see that. Why is Greenway on the top line? because the Sabres will saber. This is the Buffalo Sabres we're talking about. It doesn't surprise me one bit that Greenway is on the top line. Is he a top line player? No, he's a fourth line player, but this is the Buffalo Sabres, and that shouldn't surprise anybody. This here, now I'm not, Greenway is a former Wild player. I have nothing against him, but this right here is why I'm comfortable saying that the Sabres are not going to make the playoffs with 75% of the season left, because this is the Sabres we're talking about. What series history look like for Sabres Flames? Flames have won 4 of the last 6. 4, 1, and 1 in the last 6. 4 of the last 6 going over 6.5. So high scoring games with Calgary usually winning. I love bad teams to score. Non-divisional, both teams rested, blah, blah, blah. Hey, good luck. Obviously, neither of these teams really care about defense, so that could help you. The Sweden Wild, LOL. Yeah. But moving on along to our next game, we've got the LA Kings and the Utah Mammoth here. The Kings plus 100 road dogs. Utah minus 120 home favorites, and a total 5.5 here in this game. Taking a look at goalies for this one, nobody yet confirmed. Darcy Kemper, unconfirmed. Karel Vejmelka, unconfirmed. Kemper with slightly better numbers, 9-6-5, 2.24 goals against average, 9.14 save percentage. Vejmelka, 12-7-2, 2.64 goals against average, 8.94 save percentage. How have these two teams done against each other in the past? Well, Utah has never beat the LA Kings. Now, only 3 losses, going 0-3 since moving over from Utah. But if you look at the Coyotes, obviously where Utah moved from, for people who are really new to hockey, this goes back a long time. The Kings 11-0-2 in the last 13 meetings between the Kings / Utah / Arizona. 1 over, 2 unders, 1 push for 6, so the total 5.5. 2 overs, 2 unders in the last 4 meetings. The Kings have scored at least 4 goals in 6 of the last 7 meetings between these teams. So the Kings have had a lot of success against Utah now since they moved to Utah. 3 games, 3 wins. The Kings have been a great road team this year. Utah has been much better at home. Ultimately, when I look at this one, I think this could go either way. I think this game could go either way. There's really no edge for me here in this one. So didn't get to anything. I kind of want to back Utah, but I kind of want to back the Kings as well in this spot. So maybe the draw. Maybe this is a draw spot. But player streaks when it comes to shots on goal. Kevin Fiala over 2.5 shots on goal, minus 110. He's done that 3 games in a row. Anze Kopitar over 1.5 shots on goal is plus 130, and he's done that in 4 games in a row, 8 of his last 10. So Kopitar. Now, it does look like Utah is good against when it comes to shots on goal against. So something to consider there. Point props, Trevor Moore. 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5, plus 157 for the LA Kings. Nobody on any kind of goal streak or power play point streak. Assists, Trevor Moore, 3 of his last 5. Clayton Keller, 3 of his last 5. Ultimately, not a lot of value here in this game. So, unfortunately, another pass here for me. This is a sneaky over. Simple formula, 3-2 game, pot and empty netter or tied up. I like it. All right. And Robert agrees with you. Over 5.5. And yeah, definitely not taking the under, but passing in this one. However, I'm not passing on our next game. The Detroit Red Wings and the Vancouver Canucks. Detroit minus 125 road favorites. The Vancouver Canucks plus 105 home dogs. and a total of 6.5 here in this game. Cam Talbot unconfirmed, Kevin Lankinen unconfirmed. Both somewhat similar stats, actually. Cam Talbot, a much better win-loss record, 9-4-2. Kevin Lankinen, 4-9-3. Talbot, 3.01 goals against average. Lankinen, 3.45. And then Talbot, 883 save percentage, 881 save percentage for Lankinen here between these two teams. How did these two teams do against each other in the past? Pretty one-sided. Detroit 6-1-1 in the last 8 meetings between these teams. 4 of the last 6 have gone over 6.5. 3 of the last 4 have gone to overtime. And then Detroit scored 4 or more in 4 of the last 6 meetings. So usually high-scoring games between these two teams that go to overtime, Detroit finds a way to win. That has been what's happened recently. And Detroit Red Wings are an over machine right now. So really, I could see this game 3-3 going to overtime and Detroit finding a way to win. But for me, my play, and I really wish I could have found him in a Red Wings jersey, but unfortunately, no photos of him in a Red Wings jersey, so it is what it is. Just going to have to survive in the Blue Jackets jersey. But James Van Riemsdyk, anytime goal, plus 500 here in this game. Shop your lines. I saw it at plus 450, plus 475, and some other spots here in this one. I mentioned JVR on the last show. The last time I talked about Detroit, I was on Raymond, anytime goal. And what do you know? James Van Riemsdyk ended up scoring in that game. JVR has scored in 5 of his last 6 games, averaging 3 shots on goal during that stretch. He's facing, obviously, a Canucks team that's lost 7 of their last 9 and have allowed the most goals against per game, 3.59 goals per game. 5 of his last 6 games with a goal. He's got an extremely hot stick right now, so we'll take him. JVR anytime goal, plus 500 here in this one. But we will go and see if there are any shots and goal streaks and other streaks we got to look at here. Kiefer Sherwood has been shooting the puck a lot, but no value, minus 135. Connor Garland over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 105. He's done that 4 games in a row. Quinn Hughes over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 103. He's done that 3 games in a row. Point props, Evander Kane, 4 of his last 5, plus 121. Emmett Finney, I was close to pulling the trigger on him. Points in back-to-back games, 3 of his last 5, plus 140. There's definitely value with him. Obviously, JVR scored in 3 games in a row. And, of course, 5 of his last 6. Patrick Kane has scored in back-to-back games. For the Red Wings, assists, Moritz Seider. 3 games in a row with an assist, plus 110 here in this game. Let's go to the chat and see what people are thinking here. Yes, Kings have played 1,000,000 2-1 games. Probably true, yeah. But they need to score, and Utah's leaky, and they can score. I agree. Detroit money line and the over. I agree. I think that's how it goes. I do. DeBrincat anytime goal, plus 150. All right. Hronik point, plus 130 versus former team. I like that look. I actually do like that look. How's Hronik been doing lately? No points in 4 games in a row, but he had points in 5 of 6 before that. So maybe he can get going again. I like Detroit at this price. This is a must-win, and Vancouver is just a blender of oddities everywhere. Yeah, don't be too impressed with the Canucks win against the Wild. The Wild just had a bad game. Jesper Wallstedt had a bad game, but happens to everybody. I don't all of a sudden think that Vancouver is this great team because of that, but they did get the win. Larkin, I could see it. I like Garland anytime goal if Gibson starts. All right. Is there a good pass history between those two? Quinn Hughes to the Red Wings. Absolutely not. There's rumors if Detroit trades for Quinn Hughes, they are making an incredibly stupid trade. Now, if they are able to flip him afterwards for more, then okay. Okay. But Quinn Hughes is going to New Jersey. Come on now. Quinn Hughes is going to New Jersey. If he has to wait till free agency, if Vancouver trades him to anybody that's not named New Jersey, they're going to lose him in free agency. That's just how it's going to go. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but no. Obviously, his two brothers play together. Obviously, he wants to go to New Jersey. It's just obvious. Kane Point and DeBrincat Point plus 125. Not a bad luck there. DeBrusk still needs 1 for 175 and hasn't scored in 8 games. Hey, Detroit gives up a ton of goals. Detroit's an over machine as well. So if there is a game, if there is a time for him to maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Still doing well inside or DeBrincat Raven helpers. All right. Good day, Terry. I'll be rewatching as usual. Thank you, Captain Bry. Hope all is well. Quinn Hughes, 2 points. Dylan Larkin, 2 points. Haven't looked up the odds yet. All right. Best of luck. Sweet pickles. But final game of the night, we've got the Minnesota Wild and the Seattle Kraken. The Wild minus 135 road favorites. The Kraken plus 115 home dogs. And a total of 5.5 here in this one. The Wild 8-3-1 all time against the Kraken and 5-1 all time here in Seattle. The Wild have had a lot of success against the Kraken. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams going over 6.5. The total's here at 5.5. Let's see if we have goalies. No. Philip Gustafson unconfirmed. Joey Decord unconfirmed here. Pretty similar stats, actually. Really similar, actually. Gustafson, 7-8-3. Decord, 7-7-4. Gustafson, 2.76 goals against average. Decord, 2.99. Gustafson, 905 save percentage. Decord, 891. Both 2 shutouts so far this year. When I look at this game here, it's a pass. It's a pass for me. Yes, the Wild have owned the Kraken, but the Wild had also had owned the Canucks, and we saw how that went. The Wild were supposed to have bounced back after that Flames loss, but they played an awful game against the Canucks. So, yes, the Wild should win this game, but I can't recommend putting my money, or I can't recommend other people putting their money on this Wild team. From what I've seen the last 2 games, I've backed them the last 2 games. I'm not backing them here, so they probably win. But then, as I said, the Kraken struggle against the Wild for whatever reason. I have no interest in taking the Kraken here. The over is interesting with it being a 5.5, but the Wild's offense not rocking and rolling right now. So, and the Kraken's offense can definitely not exist at times. So, yeah. Brandon Montour over 2.5 shots on goal, minus 109. He's done that in 4 games in a row, and also 5 games in a row against the Wild. 7 shots, 3 shots, 5 shots, 7 shots, 3 shots. So Montour really shoots the puck a lot against the Wild. So Montour goal could be a good look, a big plus money. Montour point, back-to-back games, plus 118. Has some value, basically about it. Eberle and Tolvanen, back-to-back games with points as well. Minus 116 for Eberle, plus 144 for Tolvanen. And Montour actually scored in his last game and 2 of his last 4. And once against the Wild. So shoots the puck a lot against the Wild. It's only scored once in the last 5 games. But plus 700 for Montour. Not a bad luck. Assists. Zuccarello, an assist in his last game. If I was going to get to something here, it would probably be Zuccarello assist at plus 105. Eberle and Beniers, both back-to-back games with assists. Plus 176 for Eberle. Plus 190 for Matty Beniers here in this game. Dun, dun, dun. Wild gets it done. They better. They better. I'll be pretty pissed. I'll be pretty pissed off if they lose this game. Mini and under if Wallstedt starts. I don't think Wallstedt starts. They've been alternating goalies back and forth. Now Wallstedt after the rough game last game, so maybe, but I don't think so. Wild in a bounce back. They should. Quiet down, IceX. I've already seen your card over on X, so I know you like the Kraken here. Boo! No, I'm kidding. What? Question mark? LOL. Yeah, what? Freddie Gaudreau, anytime goal versus former team. I could see it, but I don't know. This is like the other side of be a wild homer. Love it. Hey, people have called me a wild homer for a long time, and I can see why, but no. I've used to be a wild homer, but not anymore. I've obviously bet against them twice or three times this year, but I like wild money line first period at minus 120. Okay, 8-1-1 last 10 versus Seattle. I like that. They need to come out strong after the last two games. I don't know, but John Hines pisses me off. Yeah, I guess so. The Hughes 2 points, Larkin 2 points is plus 600 on DK. Okay, very nice. And Addison was letting me know that on DK there's a boost, if a profit boost if you on a bets over 300 or something like over 300. So you can get that boosted if you like. Boldy goal and first team goal. I am. He's had success, and he's had success against the Kraken as well. Let me go and see. Let's see. Head-to-head against the Kraken, he has scored in 5 of the last 7 meetings, including a 2-goal and a 3-goal game. So he's had a lot of success against the Kraken. Now, he did have a lot of success against the Oilers. It didn't come through for me, but I still love you, Baldy. I still love you. This should be a good spot for him. Hit on Saturday, anytime goal, Aho Geeky Baldy. $100 for 16-20. Boldy was the easiest 3 minutes in the game. Scored the first goal. Nothing better when he scores nice and early. Sweet Pickles likes Boldy too. All right. I trust more wild player props, but who? I don't know. Boldy looks good, but the Wild's offense hasn't been extremely consistent recently. So I don't know. Gus is in bad form, not touching that game. Yeah, he's lost back-to-back starts, so not the best form. I agree with that. So nothing wrong with passing this game. Krill the Thrill over 1.5 points and Boldy over 1.5 points, or the Wild probably lose. I'm not sure about that. I can see the Wild winning this 2-1. But we'll see. Eriksson Ek and Boldy for points. I believe they're still on the second line together. Let me see. Yes, they are on the second line with Marcus Johansson. But that's today's show. I know, only 2 plays today. I'm sorry, guys. Small card for me here on this Monday slate, but I gave you guys stats and all that. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks to all the new subscribers. We're 1 subscriber away from 1,400. So I really appreciate it, guys. The show has been getting a ton of views lately and growing a lot recently. So I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribed, get me to 1,400. And then having said that, we'll be back tomorrow for another episode of Picks on Net, NHL picks and predictions. Best of luck, everyone.